Tom Brady has not only won his division 3 times in his career. The first time, he still led the league in touchdown passes. The second time, he tore his ACL in week 4. And the third time, he still won the Super Bowl. The man is not human. Buck, cue the intro.
Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhauscher here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com and check out the new merchandise page. We got the BC merch over there. We got the original Man Hour logo merch over there. We got the Team Buck merch over there that just dropped. Big shout out to that. I got mine on the way. You guys better get yours as well. But we do have to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, the peanut butter to my ladies, the raisin to my bananas, the grilled cheese to my ketchup. Mr. Brandon Beastie Combs, what's going on, Beastie?
What is going on, Buck? What is going on, Man Hour Nation? Man, it is good to be back. I don't know about the raisins and bananas or the ketchup and grilled cheese, but other than that, man, it's good to be back. Our first day on Roku TV. Let's get this thing going. Let's kick it off right for Northeast Sports Network.
Yeah, man. So, have you guys noticed, or know by now, if you've been following the Man Hour for what's so long, the last month or so, we've been hinting at it. And, guys, we are officially on Roku TV. We are on there Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. East Coast time, every Monday through Friday, like I said. But, of course, we will still be here live on youtube.com/Man Hour every Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. East Coast time. That's 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central time. So, guys, be sure to tap in, join Combs, because I will be MIA for the next few months. And it breaks my heart, Combs. But you know what? We are going to dabble in some new adventures. So, Combs, we are going to start a Man Hour AM at 10 a.m. East Coast time every Monday through Friday. So, it'll be just me. So, guys, tune in and support. Share us with a couple friends. But, Combs, before we get into sports talk whatsoever, obviously, we had Christmas, we had New Year's, and now you guys got snow and like negative 15 degrees up there. How was your holidays, man?
Man, holidays were great. I absolutely enjoyed it. I went up to Vermont and visited with the kids for about 4 days and had a good time with them. So it was good. It was good to get some time with them. I have limited time with them, so it's always good that when I do get the time with them that I enjoy it. So we had a blast though, and we had a lot of fun. The drive there and back is kind of the downfall of it, but 16-hour drive will do that to you. But no, we had a good time. The holidays were great, man. How about yours?
My Christmas was amazing. My mom and sister came down. My dad stayed back home because he had some episodes happening, so it was best for him to stay at home. It was always great to always see my mom and sister, and they're here for 5 days, and I've learned about 3 days is the max, so I was happy to see them leave. But you know what? It is what it is. But we do see people jumping into the chat here. I see that Who Day Nation jumping in there. So obviously we have a Cincinnati Bengals fan, and he says, I don't want to hear anything about the refs. You don't bring up the Hickerson. Basically he said, don't bring up the refs. And I wasn't going to go there, but we're definitely going to dabble into the ref situation here right off the bat here. But Combs, obviously, the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs today on a last-second field goal to win 34-31, and that did clinch them the AFC North. Are they a legitimate threat in the AFC now, Combs, after you see them basically manhandle the Chiefs all day?
You know, this is one of the hardest teams in the league to figure out. One week we're expecting them to dominate and they get shellacked, and then the next week we're expecting them to get beat and they go out and they find a way to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And this team just does not quit. I do think that they're a dangerous team heading into the AFC playoffs. I do think that this is a team you do not want to see. They play the ball very well on the defensive side of the ball, and they know what to do on the offensive side. I mean, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrows right now are clicking on all cylinders.
Oh, yeah.
Their run game is phenomenal. And what they did, the way they carved up that Kansas City defense in the second half, this team is ready to go. And I would not want to be a team facing them. I don't care what seed you are. I don't care what seed they are heading into the playoffs. You do not want to see them. And if you have to go into Cincinnati to play them, man, Houday Nation is going to be all over you. And Houday Nation over here in the chat, I'm sure he's going to be all over you too, because this team is the real deal. And they're going to be the real deal for a long time in the AFC.
Yeah, so this is the first time that, like, I've seen Cincinnati, almost put together a full game, Cones, just because, usually they are out so far a head of X team that they kind of coast in the second half. But this game, when it first started out, it was a punt and then punt. I was like, man, what is this? This is going to be a defensive slugfest? Like, Cincinnati and Chiefs are going to be a defensive slugfest? This is kind of weird. But then they scored like 6 touchdowns in a row. Boom, 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 boom. And it was 14-0. And I was looking at myself. I'm like, man, this is bad for the Bengals really, really quick. And then Jamar Chase just caught fire, Combs. This kid, is what I believe he had 266 yards today, which broke many records in the Cincinnati stat book there. Joe Burrow broke stats too there with the most yards in a season and the most touchdowns in a season as well. But Jamar Chase right now, Combs, has to be the real deal. 266 yards, and it was like he was like do you remember when Randy Moss went off on the Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving Day and had 500 yards and 17 touchdowns? Absolutely ridiculous. Jamar Chase could not be stopped. You could put Revis Island on him in his prime, and he would be mossing him no matter what. So, are the Cincinnati Bengals a real deal? They are a real deal for the first round game, because I don't think they have a chance for a first round bye, but when they're at home, that crowd was into it. That is the loudest I've heard that crowd, I think, ever. And truth be told, I don't want to go into Cincinnati either. But after that second round game, depending on who they play, let's say they play the Chiefs again, or let's say they got to go, or let's play they play the Patriots. Second round is but first round, I definitely don't want to face them first round because they're going to be hyped as hell. Let's just be honest about that.
Yeah. Look, the Cincinnati Bengals are the real deal, but Joe Burrows is also the real deal. I think Joe Burrows is got to be the front runner for NFL MVP, if you ask me. In my opinion, Joe Burrows is more valuable to the Cincinnati Bengals than any player is to their team around the league right now. They've shown what they did last year after he went down. They were hot before he went down too, if you remember last year.
Yeah.
Then he went down and they had, a so-so season the rest of the way through. And now with Joe Burrows, they've just won the division. They've just won the AFC North. And to me, Joe Burrows should be the front runner for MVP. What do you think about that?
So in a common sense realm, yes, I think Joe Burrow is the most valuable player for his said team, right? But obviously, we know how the NFL works, Holmes, and it is not the most valuable player. It's the best player on the best team nine times out of 10. So that is why Jonathan Taylor from the Colts will not win the MVP, even though he is having a hell of a CAC season. That's why Joe Burrow will not win the MVP. Hell, just today alone, he went 30 for 39 for 446 yards with 4 touchdowns. Absolutely mind blowing. He will probably break 5,000 yards this season with that extra game added on to the season. So is he an MVP front runner? In my eyes, yes, he absolutely should be. But is he? No, he is not. You still have Kyler Murray. You have Aaron Rodgers. We forget Aaron Rodgers is having a better season than he had last year even. And you still have Tom Brady, and I almost want to say people kind of feel sorry for Tom Brady because he's out with Godwin, he's out with Mike Evans. We'll get into the Antonio Brown thing later in hour number 2 here. So he is probably top 5, but definitely not the front runner. Combs. No, it's just not going to happen.
Fuck. Let me throw some things out here at you, okay?
That's
so
fine.
I heard you mention Tom. Heard you mention Kyler Murray. Heard you mention Aaron Rodgers, okay? I'm going to throw out these stats. I'm going to give you these stats, and you tell me which quarterback is which, okay?
Right.
So I've got a 66% completion percentage and a 100 quarterback rating. I've got a 69 completion percentage and a 100 quarterback rating. I've got a 70% completion percentage and a 108 quarterback rating.
So my guess, the first one would be Tom Brady, second one would be Aaron Rodgers, and the third one would be Kyler Murray.
Nope. First one was Tom Brady. Second one was Kyler Murray. The third one was Joe Burrows. Joe Burrows is having one of those seasons that nobody is paying attention to. And they just won the damn AFC North. I don't understand why people, you could sit there and talk about you, and then you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who, yes, he's got a 2 points higher quarterback rating than Joe Burrows does right now, but he's thrown for a 68% completion percentage of 70.5. And then you look at their touchdown to interception, you got 33 and 4 for Aaron Rodgers, and you got 34 and 14 for Joe Burrows. So, to me, it's Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrows. Who do you take? And to me, I mean, look, it's Aaron freaking Rodgers,
Right.
Top 5 greatest quarterback of all time
This year, yes.
But it's Joe Burrows, and if Joe Burrows is not on this team, they don't make the playoffs. If
Really?
Aaron Rodgers is not on the Green Bay Packers, they probably still win the NFC North because it's such a trash division.
I don't know. We've seen how bad Jordan Love is on that team. But I mean, the Packers definitely do have a pretty good team. But we're seeing the Cincinnati Bengals have a pretty damn good offense. I mean, they got Joe Mixon in there. They have we haven't even talked about T. Higgins. He's a freak of nature out there. I mean, this Cincinnati team is probably more stacked than the Kansas City Chiefs are. I said it. They are a team to be reckoned with Combs. So with all that being said, Combs, we said that the Bengals clinched the North. So I got to propose this question, and I'm going to propose to people to the chat here as well. Listen here at youtube.com/manhour. Did the Bengals win the North, Combs, or did the Baltimore Ravens ultimately give the North away?
Man, I'm going to go with the Bengals won the division. I don't think that the Ravens gave it away. We sat here a couple weeks back and we talked about the Ravens when they were 8-3, and I sat here and I told you, and I looked at their schedule and I said, look, this Ravens team, yes, they're 8-3, but they played kind of a soft first 11 games, and I'm not sure that they'll win another game the rest of the season. And you know what? They haven't won another game for the rest of the season. This team is not built to win a Super Bowl. This is Baltimore Ravens team, and then I mean you got to put some John Harbaugh blame in there too. I mean the way John Harbaugh, he's had 2 games where he could have taken them to overtime, and instead he's gone for the 2-point conversion and missed both times to try to win the game instead of just doing what has been done for years and years in the NFL, and kicking the extra point and going to overtime and taking your chances there. I don't necessarily think that the Ravens gave it away, though, because I just think the Bengals just went out and took it. I think the Bengals went out and said, you know what, this is our time. It's time for us to give Cincinnati Bengals fans what they've longed for so long. And that's a team that's going to be competitive for a very long time. This is not going to be the only time the Cincinnati Bengals win the division. This is not a fluke. This is not a flash in the pan. This team is going to be good for years.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that coin, their 4 major stars on the offensive side are all 25 years of age. So just take that into perspective as well. We are going to see a lot of Joe Burrow to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase for years to come if the money aspect stays right there. But to answer the question in a whole here, guys, the Ravens ultimately gave this division away just because the Ravens are a great regular season team. Lamar Jackson puts the team on his back, and he will carry them to 14-2, 13-3, and then flop in the playoffs just because that is what they do. That is the Ravens' MO there. They are great during the regular season and then suck once it's time to actually win the games. And why I said the Ravens lose a division or lost a division as well is because exactly what Combs said too here. I believe it was against the Steelers and it was against the Packers as well. They could have easily kicked the PAT, went into overtime, and we could be having a totally different conversation here just because the NFL is a league of momentum, Combs. If they would have beat the Steelers and then I forget the other team that they went for 2 points. Was it the Steelers game? Yeah, so the Steelers and the Packers, if they would have won or even went into overtime in those 2 games, they could have easily been 10-5 right now or 10-6, right? And then not be on this 6 or 7 game losing streak. And we might even see Lamar Jackson back on the field. The reason why we are not seeing Lamar Jackson on the field right now, Combs, is simply because they know their season is a complete loss. So why, quote, put your franchise quarterback out there? And they want to see what they have in Huntley as well. Because I personally...
We've also got a better passer in the game right now, too.
Yeah, so I think Huntley is personally better for a NFL team than Lamar Jackson is. Am I saying that he's a better player? No, but he is better for an NFL team. Lamar Jackson would be great on the Houston Texans when they don't have anything, right? He would be a Greek god there, but it is what it is. So Combs, we are getting up against the first break here, and I want to address some of the comments here in the chat coming up here. We see Alpha Rob in there. What's up, Alpha Rob? Long time no see, my man. And let me scroll down here. So Who That Nation said, Jamar Chase did not just break franchise record; he broke all rookie records today. So that's over Randy Moss, and wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is phenomenal. Who Dey Nation, and you said Who Dat Nation, that's New Orleans. Who Dey Nation, they are in for a treat because they're going to be able to watch Burrows and Jamar Chase connect. And this is going to be one of those combinations that you look at that is like a Manning to Wayne, or like a Brady to, give it to him, Welker, or one of his other no-name receivers that he made a receiver. This is going to be, Montana to Rice. This is going to be one of those combinations that's going to be fun to watch for the next 10 plus years.
Yeah, so Who They Nation also comes out and says that Joe Burrow didn't even make the Pro Bowl. Lamar Jackson did. Who was the AFC quarterbacks? It was Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and somebody else. I think they left Joe Burrow out, Josh Allen out, and so.
I don't think Jamar Chase made a Pro Bowl either.
Yeah, I don't. No, Jamar Chase did make the Pro Bowl. Yeah,
there were a lot of snubs in this Pro Bowl. We could talk about that at another time. But it's gross to me to see the disrespect around the league for some of these players that get left out, especially a guy who, when I rattle off those stats and then you hear it and then I give you the name to those stats and you're like, holy crap, That Joe Burrows is having a season and nobody's paying attention to it, and it's stupid.
Yeah, so on the bright side, guys, Joe Burrow will probably be in the Pro Bowl because the Bengals will not make the Super Bowl and the Kansas City Chiefs will. But Combs, we are up against that first break here, guys. And on the other side of the break, we got to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Bipolar Antonio Brown, guys. All that and much more coming up here on the Man Hour, guys. We'll be right back.
If I'm home from work and relaxing,
I watch Man Hour while doing dishes.
In bed, hiding from the wife and kids.
what do you do when your husband and kid are obsessed with the Man Hour? You watch it with them.
Have you ever wanted to go to Vegas to see the NFL draft? Well, now you can. Simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, click on that join button, become a $5.99 member or higher, and you get free entry. Simple as that. So head over to youtube.com/manhour and hit that join button. You won't regret it.
You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby.
Man Hour Nation, it's your boy BC Beastie Brandon Combs coming to you with a special message. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Now, that's 22 too many. And here at the Man Hour, we want to bring awareness to this. Our brothers and sisters deserve our support and our help. With the Take 22 merch, it's a small opportunity to show our appreciation and support to our veterans and take a small step to ending veteran suicide and treating PTSD properly. Every dollar spent on our Take 22 merch will be donated to the cause. So Man Hour Nation, rise up and show your support.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeye along with Brandon Combs tonight. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and of course, iHeartRadio, or simply head over to youtube.com/Man Hour as we do upload the clips each and every day, through 365 days a day, 24 hours a day over there. So every 3 hours, we do upload a new clip to give you guys all types of content throughout the day. So let's welcome Combsy back onto the show here, Combs. And Combs, during the break there, we had a few comments come over the screen here, and Match H says, "Who day show who belongs." So Match H over from youtube.com/Man Hour says, "Who day belongs." Are you agree with that? Like, do they belong? So, and then Alpha Rob, what's up, Alpha Rob? We have missed you, man. It's been a long week off, and I'm glad to see you back in the chat here. He says, "You're wrong, Buck. The Buffalo Bills will be in the Super Bowl." Combs, what do you think about that? Will the Buffalo Bills be in the Super Bowl? Oh, of course. I always got you.
But anyway. What was the question? What did Alpha Rob say?
Alpha Rob says, I am wrong, and the Buffalo Bills will be in the Super Bowl.
I agree with Alpha Rob. I think that the Buffalo Bills are late blooming. I believe that win over the New England Patriots really boosted what they wanted to do. And I think that the Buffalo Bills now are ready to be that team that we thought they were going to be, ahead of the season. I believe all of us picked them in the AFC East. I believe all of us had them making a deep run in the playoffs. I had them in the Super Bowl. and
didn't
losing
you
again.
and
but still, I had him in the Super Bowl.
didn't you and Tori have him like at 15-2 or something crazy like that?
No, I had him at 13-4.
13-4.
And Tori might have had them at 15-2,
I
but
don't
yeah, I
also
had him
had
at
the Redskins.
13-4.
So
yeah, he had the Redskins at 15-2 or some stuff like that.
Guys, the Buffalo Bills are first round exit.
Stop it.
They are. Hell,
Stop.
Combs, they may not even make the playoffs.
Buck.
Right now, they're sitting in the 4 seed, so they would, in theory, right now play the Patriots in the first round of the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. You are not going to beat the New England Patriots in the playoffs. Sorry. Not going to happen.
They play the Jets next week. They're going to win the division. And if they do play New England, no matter who they play, they have to go through Buffalo to do it. And Buffalo, I don't know. I mean, unless they get the Patriots again when the wind's blowing at 95 miles an hour and the Patriots just run the ball 75 times and pass only 3 times.
Yeah.
It's not like the Patriots they're a good team. They're a young up and coming team. That defense is nasty. But I'm going to take my chances with Josh Allen in the playoffs before I take my chances with, Mac Jones.
Right. So we got to give a huge shout out to Trent Mason for dropping a super chat there. So Trent, we missed you as well, man. I'm glad you are back here. I'm glad to see you. Hopefully work has slowed down for you a little bit over there. But he says Lamar Jackson is greater than Joey.
I'm going to disagree. I appreciate the super chat out there. I disagree. I don't think that Lamar Jackson is a tenth of the passer that Joe Burrow is. I don't think that he's even a tenth of the passer that his own backup quarterback is. But as a football player as a whole, Lamar Jackson's right up there with Joe Burrow. I think Lamar Jackson knows how to win. He knows how to, use his legs. He knows how to make things happen. And he's a playmaker. He's not a better quarterback than Joe Burrow, though. I highly disagree with that.
Well, you guys know my stance on it, so we'll go ahead and move past forward through this segment here. Actually, I will talk about it on tomorrow morning show here at 10 a.m. at youtube.com/man hour. So you guys should sure to turn into with my solo show here, right here on the man hour. But Combs, during the afternoon games today here on Sunday, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were having a battle with the Jets, but we're not talking about the on-field game. We're going to talk about the off-field game. And Antonio Brown went completely WWE to take the words out of your mouth here. He took off his helmet, took off his pads, and threw his jersey out into the stands and gave everybody the deuces. So, Combs, I got to ask you this question. Is Antonio Brown done in the NFL? Will he ever play on an NFL team ever again?
No, not after what just happened today. The way he walked out on his team, he is done in the NFL. He's done, at any level, unless he wants to go to maybe AEW or WWE. He's done in the NFL. Nobody is going to bring that into their locker room. Not even the Las Vegas Raiders are going to bring that back into their locker room, and everybody knows that they'll take a chance on anybody. The New York Jets. I'm trying to think of teams that you could possibly see taking a chance on them. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I just don't think any of these organizations can really take a chance on bringing Antonio Brown back. I mean, what would cause you to say no? I'm not going in the game. Rip off your jersey mid-game and just be like, peace, I'm out. And do a dance in the end zone and wave to the fans on your way out while they're mid-play. Like, it's not like this was during, like, the end of a quarter or during a TV timeout. This was while they were playing the game.
Yeah.
And I just, like, to me, that is, and I listened to some of the post-game press conferences. I listened to some of his teammates. Even Tom Brady said, look, he's a friend. I encourage anybody who knows him to reach out to him. He's going through some things. And I get all that. I get that he's going through some things, but he's going to have to go through them not on an NFL team anymore. And for his friends to be there for him and to do all that, sure, great. I'm all about all that stuff. But to bring him on your team in the NFL again, I can't do it.
All right. So first of all, I got to give a shout out to Blake. What's up, Blake? His Eagles did clinch a playoff berth. Like apparently I didn't know that. So big shout out to Blake Zender there. Fly Eagles fly. Apparently he's been on the bandwagon all year long. But back to Antonio Brown here. So Combs, there are 3 things wrong with this whole situation here, right? Number one. Okay, we're gonna start with like number 1 here. Number 1 with the whole fake COVID vaccine card, right? That was strike number 1 with the Tampa Bay. Actually, that was strike
offense. So I'm still shocked that he's even on a football field. But we'll digress.
Yeah, well, he is on a football field just because I'm sure they finagled some stuff or it was misworded. Yeah, it was something stupid, right?
Chris Godwin got hurt.
right, like exactly. And Bruce Arians welcomed back with open arms with like stipulations, right? He's like, well, yeah, you know, you are back, but you gotta walk a straight and arrow. And every time you kind of put Antonio Brown like you must do this, and this, he goes like bipolar mode and just goes crazy on everybody for whatever reason, and I don't know why. Like he is just like, you can say he needs the mental help. You can say that he needs this, and this, but when you do this in the middle of a game, you are simply asking for attention. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are completely done without Antonio Brown on their team. They don't have Mike Evans. They don't have Godwin. Mike Evans might be back for the playoffs. I'm not for sure. But Godwin is out with that ACL. And then what's his face? The tight end that your wife loves so much. He is injury prone. Like he hasn't played a full season in who knows how long. And he's played 6 or 7 games in a row, so he's bound to get hurt again and probably miss the playoffs. So it is almost, to me, it's like when Antonio Brown has pressure on him, he collapses on the pressure and he can't handle it, so he acts out. So, I mean, like I could be totally wrong. I could be looking into it way too much here, but the pressure was on Antonio Brown to perform. He was like 6 catches away from like getting his $1 million bonus or something crazy.
Well, you are totally wrong. Okay. You are totally wrong. Let me tell you why. 1, Mike Evans is already back. He had a touchdown today.
Right.
2, Antonio Brown was getting targeted. He was getting targeted. He only had 1 less catch than Mike Evans did today, and he left it in the 3rd quarter.
And that's why I said he will, like, he crumbles under the pressure.
You've got Cyril Grayson, who's out there. He's had a nice showing. You had Gronk, who had a hell of a game today. That touchdown pass to Cyril Grayson at the end of the game to win the game was phenomenal. Cameron Brate is a underrated tight end. They've got pieces. They've got weapons. Keshawn Vaughn. They've got things guys they can go to, weapons that they can utilize. They're not done. And not only that, they've got Tom freaking Brady.
Jeez. Tom
freaking Brady. So if you want to bet against him, Buck, feel free. I'll take that bet all day long.
Didn't you just say he had the worst stats out of Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow?
Yes,
okay.
I guess it depends on how you look at it, but yeah.
Right.
But he's still got 100 quarterback rating and still has 33 touchdowns or 38 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. So,
right.
Yeah.
True. So Trent, I do see your comment. We will address it here in about 15 minutes here, but I want to continue this Antonio Brown conversation here, like here, Combs, and we have seen some epic ways of trying to get release from a team, right? But is this the most epic way to get cut from an NFL team? What Antonio Brown did today?
I love chaos, right? And I love chaos, and this is something that I've said a lot. And one of the things I used to say, like, I think it would be the greatest thing ever if, like, back when Bill Belichick wanted Tom Brady out and he wanted Jimmy G to take over the reins, and then they traded Jimmy G without Bill Belichick, approving of it or whatnot. And I said it'd been great if they would have won the Super Bowl that year. And in his post-game press conference, as he grabbed the trophy, if he took off his hoodie and had a Jimmy G jersey on and left for San Francisco to go coach San Francisco, right? Like, I want stuff like that to happen. And this to me was something like I kind of giggled. Like, I liked watching it because it was chaos. Do I want a guy like that on my team? No. But is it fun to watch? Does it give us something to talk about here on the Man Hour? Absolutely. That was great. It was great television. It was just fun to watch because when they signed him, I said, this is going to be a problem. Like, why are you signing Antonio Brown? Why are you bringing this guy in your locker room? I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And I like the chaos. I like the way, and this was the most epic way a guy's ever asked for a release. I'm just going to go up there and say it.
Well, I don't remember exactly what led to the Terrell Owens situation in Philly when like he was doing like the sit-ups and the push-ups in his his driveway and like all the cameras.
It was contract negotiations.
Well, but like he basically wanted more money, so he wanted every release to go get more money, right? So the one thing that was so great about the Terrell Owens thing was that it drug on whole NFL offseason. Like every day, I was tuning into like ESPN. I'm like, what did Terrell Owens do now? What did Terrell Owens doing now? The one thing about the whole Antonio Brown thing is it will all kind of be swept under the rug because it happened during mid game, and the AFC is such a comboggled playoff mess right now. So honestly, probably come Tuesday we will forget all about it. And Bruce Arians has already said that he has been cut from the team, so there won't be any
post game press conference. They said, Bruce, can you shed some light as to what's going on? He's like, no, let's talk about the guys who were here and who went out and won the game. Let's not talk about somebody who's no longer even on the team.
Yeah, so since Antonio Brown is no longer on the team, we have seen him. He was probably arguably the best receiver in Pittsburgh Steelers history ever, right? He was top of the league, and then he's kind of fluttered around per se.
Juju Smith.
Is he the biggest waste of talent in the NFL?
It's a good question. It's God. It's hard for me to say that when there's been guys like I'm gonna forget Josh Gordon was a huge waste of talent. You've had some others out there who, either through retiring early or through, just can't get their heads on straight, were wastes of talent as well. Antonio Brown, though, was a wide receiver that legitimately could have won an NFL MVP because he was that good at his position. And so I don't know if he's the biggest waste of talent ever in the NFL, but he's pretty damn close. And the way that he had somewhat of a dominant time frame when he was with the Steelers. He went out, they did win a Super Bowl while he was there. Josh Gordon, to me, has got to be the biggest waste of talent because that guy probably could, if he was on the top of his game, had he never had any of these issues, these mental health issues, anything like that, and was on the top of his game, how good the Cleveland Browns are now, how much better they'd be if they had a Josh Gordon at 110%.
I don't think they would be where they are at now because Josh Gordon would have probably carried that team to, 5-6 wins every year that he was there, so they wouldn't get like 12 number one overall picks in 20 years. So,
he'd be on the same level as Tyreek Hill, right?
What's that?
He'd be on the same level as Tyreek Hill.
Probably. But I think the biggest waste of talent is Josh Gordon. But then another player comes to my mind. It is a Texas running back. He played for the Miami Dolphins, and I think he played for the New Orleans Saints for like a year or two. Mr. Ricky Williams himself. This dude openly smoked weed like during games, and he knew it was against the rule. And he was the best college running back in Texas history. He may even be a top 5 running back in the NCAA. But when he got to the NFL, he was all worried about peace, love, man. Let's stoke some dope. Let's hug some trees. Like, What? What? Come on, man. You're
and that was
freaking
back when
framed. Yeah, God.
Yeah. And that was back when Mike Ditka coached the team, and Mike Ditka traded away every draft pick
Yeah.
for that pick to get Ricky Williams. Every draft pick. Have you ever? You've never seen it before, and we'll never see it again. But Mike Ditka went in there and said, "This is my guy. I'm going to give you every pick I have."
Well, I mean, if you were to go back to that draft, I would have done the same freaking thing. But you know, obviously hindsight's 2020, and let's say marijuana was legalized back then, we might be talking about a new GOAT running back. We'd be talking about King Ricky himself, and not no King Henry, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree there. Ricky Williams was phenomenal. I forgot all about him until you just mentioned it. But yeah, he's a good candidate for biggest waste of talent.
So we do have some comments here that we need to address. Trent Mason with the super chat. He says, with what Tyler Huntley has shown us thus far, do you think any teams will try to get him in free agency, maybe even a starter?
Ooh, yeah. I think there will be a couple teams that'll go after him. I think that the Washington, not Redskins anymore, would look at a guy like Tyler Huntley. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will look at a guy like Tyler Huntley. Hell, I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to try to make a move at quarterback to trade Jimmy G for. Tyler Huntley might not be a bad option there. I like Tyler Huntley. The guy can throw. He's not as fast as Lamar, but he's got a better arm than Lamar. He's more accurate than Lamar. I like Tyler Huntley. I like what he brings to the table. I 100% believe he'll be a starter in the league next year somewhere other than Baltimore.
And he does have some speed still too. So I mean, he not be as fast as Lamar, but he does have that scrambling ability. But I would look no further than the AFC North, guys. There are 3 quarterbacks in that AFC North that could probably be, replaced by this Tyler Huntley kid. Baker Mayfield. I don't think Cleveland Browns are married to Baker whatsoever. Pittsburgh Steelers. This is Big Ben's last game on Monday night, more than likely. And then obviously you have Baltimore. I don't think Lamar Jackson is the future in Baltimore. Whether people want to say, oh, he is the next $250 million guy, right? I don't think he is the man in Baltimore. He was a good placeholder. He got you a lot of wins. He got you a playoff win, but I don't think he is your future franchise quarterback. And then also, let's look no further than the Carolina Panthers. Who knows what that quarterback situation is? I mean,
they got a different quarterback every year, so
right.
It wouldn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and throw through some extra things here. Trent says AB needs a stern talking to, maybe even a ban from the NFL after all these personal and public distractions. So
yeah, I think he's going to get a ban, and it's going to be a ban because nobody's going to want to sign him. He's too much of a he's going to get blackballed. He's going to get the Colin Kaepernick treatment.
Right.
Nobody wants to bring that into the locker room.
Well, the Colin Kaepernick treatment was he just plain sucked. But we'll digress from that. And then Trent also says, do you think Scotty Miller will play a bigger role in AB's replacement in Tampa? I mean, he has to, right? I mean, who else does Tampa have?
Tampa's got a few guys. I think Brashad Perriman will play a bigger role.
Yeah,
I think that Keyshawn Vaughn will play a bigger role. Tyler Johnson and Cyril Grayson. I think a lot of those guys are going to end up stepping up. They're going to get their opportunity. And with Tom Brady being there, look, Cyril Grayson's going to be a guy who's going to catch, 100 passes a year and get over 1,000 yards because he's going to run 10-yard out routes every damn time, just like Wes Welker did for his entire freaking career.
Right. And I think we're going to look more at 2 tight end sets with like AB and Godwin out, because we forget that they have a tight end by the name of OJ Howard. Guys, he was the best tight end on the Bucs before they brought in, Rob and a few other guys. But I would look at New England Patriots offense back when they had Hurt, like Gronk and what's his name, the guy who killed everybody.
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah. So look for that kind of set. I mean, that would be fun to watch, right?
Yeah.
And
They're going to do some fun things there, and they're still going to win the Super Bowl because they're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're not even going to make it to the second round, Combs. So Drew says, "What's up, Drew? Long time no see." He said, and he said, AB tried to get a Uber and leave the stadium. Oh, okay, that's stupid.
I heard that they did not allow him to take the team charter back home, which is not surprising.
Right.
And it is what it is. I'm sure if he wanted to get an Uber, he could have got an Uber or a taxi, or he could have went out and got a limo for as much money as he's made over his NFL career.
Right.
I have no sympathy for Antonio Brown.
One Pride 40 is jumping in the chat here. What's up, One Pride 40? And he says, I think Josh Gordon can still get a job. AB, not so much. So Josh Gordon is a wide receiver, the number 3 wide receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs right now. I think that's about 10 catches on the year. But they did pick him up, I think, week 9 or week 10. So I think Josh Gordon will be a bigger role in Kansas City come next year, even though he is like 35 years old. I mean, he's pretty old. But they do need that Sammy Watkins threat, and I think Josh Gordon is it for Kansas City. So I think Josh Gordon has found a home with Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs, honestly. So,
yeah, I don't disagree. He did have a catch today too, I believe. He wasn't a big factor today, but yeah, I mean, look, you got McCole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, and Byron Pringle right now, and so Josh Gordon he's down on the totem pole, but they're going to lose a couple guys this offseason. I would definitely look for Josh Gordon if he's back, and if he's really back, to have a bigger role, like you said, next season.
So Trent, this is back when we were talking about the biggest waste of talent. Trent says, "What about George Kittle? If he got as many targets as Kelsey did, wouldn't he be a 1 yard or a 1,000 yard receiver?"
Well, that's not a waste of talent. That's a mismanagement issue. And look, the 49ers are sort of a mess organizationally right now. They've got a head coach who doesn't even like his own quarterback. We're going to talk about that a little bit more here later on, because I do think that the 49ers make a move this offseason.
All right, guys, so we are up against break number 2 here. On the other side of the break, we are going to talk about Alpha Rob's Buffalo Bills. We're going to talk a little bit of Tennessee Titans with their domination over the Miami Dolphins today. And, of course, we got to talk some LA Rams, their epic comeback versus the short-handed Baltimore Ravens. All that and much more, guys, coming up here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back.
Once I'm home from work and relaxing,
I watch Man Hour while doing dishes.
In bed, hiding from the wife and kids.
what do you do when your husband and kid are obsessed with the Man Hour? You watch it with them.
Have you ever wanted to go to Vegas to see the NFL draft? Well, now you can. Simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, click on that join button, become a $5.99 member or higher, and you get free entry. Simple as that. So head over to youtube.com/manhour and hit that join button. You won't regret it.
You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby.
Man Hour Nation, it's your boy BC Beastie Brandon Combs coming to you with a special message. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Now, that's 22 too many. And here at the Man Hour, we want to bring awareness to this. Our brothers and sisters deserve our support and our help. With the Take 22 merch, it's a small opportunity to show our appreciation and support to our veterans and take a small step to ending veteran suicide and treating PTSD properly. Every dollar spent on our Take 22 merch will be donated to the cause. So Man Hour Nation, rise up and show your support.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes with Brandon Combs tonight. If you miss any part of the show, you can find us over on Good Pods. So download that app. You can rate each episode here, guys, at the Good Pods app. We are currently ranked number 3 in sports overall podcast. We would like to be number 1. So download that Good Pods app, search for Man Hour Sports Talk, and give us a ranking. 5 stars or whatever if you want, but do it 5 stars because we are the best damn sports show on the planet, hands down, no doubt about it. And we are so glad to be here on Roku TV. And if you guys are enjoying this at all, be sure to head over to youtube.com/manhour. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon, as we are live every Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. East Coast time here at youtube.com/manhour. So also got my man Brandon Combs here. What's up, Combsy? How you doing tonight, man?
What's going on, Buck? Man, I'm doing good. I'm excited to get things rolling. I'm excited for the new year. A lot of big things happening. A lot of big things happening for the show. So I'm pumped up, man.
So one of the big things that has been happening, if you guys have watched the ads here during our breaks here, is Combs, we are giving away a trip to Las Vegas for the NFL draft here in April. So you get to come party with the Man Hour crew, myself, Combs, and Tori, maybe Soup Boss, and whoever else might show up. And as we can't guarantee you entry into the NFL draft because it is first come, first serve, but we got your flights and we got your hotel covered during the NFL draft weekend. All you gotta do is simply click on that join button here at youtube.com/manhour and become a $5.99 member or higher, and you get entered into the giveaway. And Combs, I believe we're giving away Super Bowl Sunday, right? You want to do it at halftime?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it at halftime. So there is halftime of Super Bowl Sunday. We will be giving away that trip. So, guys, we have covered some Antonio Brown. We covered the Cincinnati Bengals winning the NFC North. But it is time to stick on the AFC side of things, Coleman. We're going to travel a little to the east side of things and the state of New York and the New England tri-state area all over there. And they are in a deadlock for number first here at 10-6 here. So, Combs, after today's game, after the Bills dominate the Atlanta Falcons in the second half, not the first half, but the second half, and the Patriots put up a 50-piece today, who do you got winning the AFC East?
I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. They're gonna beat the Jets next week and win the AFC East. Jets do get to play spoilers, so you always kind of worry about maybe somebody, this is their Super Bowl type thing and showing up. I believe that the Patriots, I want to say that they also have the Dolphins, so it's the divisional games. And I think that the Dolphins have a better chance of winning in Miami against the Patriots than the Jets have against winning the Bills. So I'm going to go with the Bills just because of the way that the schedule fell, because the fact that they beat New England 2 weeks ago. And I just think that they are a better football team right now. So I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and Trent Mason, thank you for becoming a member over here at Man Hour Nation. Welcome to the club here, man. But correct me if I'm wrong, Combs. The Buffalo Bills do have the head-to-head tiebreaker over the New England Patriots, right? So whether they both win or they both lose, the Buffalo Bills would ultimately win the East, right?
Yeah. If they both win, Buffalo wins the division.
So with that being said, for whatever reason, New England Patriots have a hard time playing in Miami. Whether it's the heat, whether it's the heavy hair or whatever, right? But they've also never played it when it really matters either. So they could basically be walking in there with their C game, like, what it is like, it is what it is. So I do think the New England Patriots flex on the Miami Dolphins next week and definitely whoop that ass, and Miami Dolphins will not make the playoffs. And we've seen a New York Jets team that's kind of playing with a little bit of passion. They went toe to toe with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 3 quarters, and
they gave up 50 today.
The Jets to the
I'm sorry,
Buccaneers?
Not the last time. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. No, but the last time that they played the Bills, they gave up 50.
I don't care. They are 2 totally different teams now. And we know momentum is a big thing in the NFL. I've been harping on it all show long, and we're harping on it all week long because I think the Jets sitting at 4-4-4-12 after going toe to toe with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have something to prove. They want to play spoiler, and they want to spoil the Buffalo Bills' chance to winning this AFC East, thinking they run it now because Tom Brady's gone. But guess what? The Patriots are still there. Combs, the Patriots win the East. The Jets beat the Bills next week, and the Patriots beat the Dolphins. They're going to be both very, very close games, maybe last-second field goals. But Mac Jones, the New England Patriots, they are the real deal. Mac Jones will win the Rookie of the Year because he's going to win the AFC East, and they're going to go to the AFC Championship game.
Buck, you willing to go clean shaven if that doesn't happen?
So the last time I went clean shaven, I slept on the couch for 2 weeks. So probably not going to happen this time. And I broke out so like my shaving right there broke out so bad, man. It was horrible.
It's not gonna, Buck. That is a wild prediction. I believe it was a 30 to 35 point game the last time the Bills played the Jets.
Yeah.
It
was also
Jets
what, like
are not good.
Week 3, right? Too, when the Buffalo Bills were clicking on all cylinders.
No, it was like week 9, week 10. That was what put them back on clicking on all cylinders.
That's
the
right,
Jets
yeah.
were there that game where they needed to win because they've been losing. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think the Bills are going to. I think both teams are going to win. I think the Patriots are going to beat Miami in Miami. I think the Bills are going to beat the Jets, and by proxy, the Bills will win the division. And it's actually going to set up a Bills versus Patriots first round game in Buffalo if the Bills still remain the number 4 seed. And God, that's going to be so much fun to watch. It's going to be so much fun to watch. It's going to be fun to talk about too. But that game is going to be a war. And so I'm excited for what's happening right now in the NFL, especially in the AFC.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there's any chance that the Bills slip up next week against the Jets.
So Alpha Rob, as a Bills fan, says that just like Allen said after the Patriots game last week, they said you forgot who the F I was. Josh Allen, you have been on this incline. I give it to you, but right now the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen have hit this plateau, Combs. They are 11-win team, awesome, but that's all they're going to be able to get. Unfortunately, they are not better than the Patriots right now.
They just beat the Patriots by 12 points.
I don't care. They're not better than the Patriots right now.
They beat the Patriots in New England by 12 points.
If you want to go that route, the Patriots beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo
by 2 points on a day where it was 95 mile an hour winds.
Okay.
It was something stupid. They ran the ball. It wasn't the same type of they're not better than Buffalo Bills.
So Combs, ask me this question. Let's flash back three weeks here. What side of the column did the Patriots win there? Was it the left side or the right side? Which one did they put the little line in? I believe it was the left side of the column because they got that dub, right? And that's all that matters in the NFL, Combs. It is not about beauty points. It is not about winning by 15 points. It is about getting that dub. And this is why Buffalo Bill fans are really getting underneath my skin, because they're like, oh, we went into New England and whooped that butt, yada, yada. The Patriots did the same thing to you, so what does that even matter?
They did not whoop their butt. They did not whoop their butt, first of all. They did not whoop their butt. They won by 4 points.
A win's a win, Combs. It doesn't matter.
But that's
they still went into Buffalo and whooped you.
There's still that was not a whooping. That was a game that nobody had a clue what was going on. The Patriots ran the ball. It was a day. Let's be honest with it. It was a day where Bill Belichick won that game for the New England Patriots because he outcoached the head coach from the Buffalo Bills, and they won the game.
So
that's what happened in that game.
So you are from that area, Combs. What is the weather going to be like?
I'm from that area now.
Well, you are from the New England. Nobody ever goes up their state area, right? What is the weather like up in that area in mid-January, Combs? I'm asking.
It's cold and it's snowy, but
and the wind's blowing, right? And the wind's blowing, it's snowing, and it's cold.
That's what it was in Buffalo today too when they went and took it to him.
Exactly.
What do you like? I don't understand what you're talking about.
So what I'm talking about
just
is the
one of
Patriots and the
aberration
Bills
games.
already played this game.
Yeah.
The Patriots won it.
It was
They're going to win it again. I don't care.
All right. Okay.
What do you want to
talk
bet?
about this in 2 weeks. If this is,
we want to bet shave legs.
Facial hair.
I'm not shaving my beard, man.
Dude, I gotta shave mine too. Like I look like I'm 4 years old when I shave.
How about shaved heads? How about that's better.
All right, you're bald, and I keep mine really, really short anyway. So that's not is that much of a bet?
I'm balding. I'm not bald yet. I'm balding. There's a
Let's put
difference.
our wife paychecks on it. Let's put our wife's paycheck on it.
That's not gonna happen. I would be freaking homeless. I'm moving up with you and sleeping on the couch. even if I won, I would still be sleeping on your couch. Let's just be honest.
just for the thought of putting it up there. Yes, right. Absolutely. I understand that completely.
And Drew says the Buffalo Lake effect. Isn't it? What? That's Erie, isn't it? Like up there, it's Lake Erie in the Buffalo area. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So moving on.
I mean, they're not too far from Niagara Falls.
Well, Buffalo,
a couple miles from Niagara Falls.
Yeah. So interesting. Maybe they should move to Canada because New York sucks.
Oh God.
I'm kidding. It's a city so great they named it twice. It is New York, New York, and everywhere else, right?
Yeah, we don't need any more Canadian teams in our sports. Let's just put it that way.
All right, so moving on here, the Tennessee Titans look like the Tennessee Titans that were up in Graham Wallace's power rankings at the top of them just a few weeks ago before King Henry went down. They dominate Miami, and Miami is definitely on the outside of looking into the playoff hunt now. They have to win next week versus the Patriots to even have a chance with some helps, but. Are the Titans, Combs, the best team in the AFC again?
Quietly, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they keep doing it. And now the talks are that King Henry could be coming back for the playoffs already, and that is a scary thought because of what this team has done in his absence and how good they are going to be once he comes back. I don't know that there's a team in the AFC that can go into Tennessee and win a football game. I don't know that there's a team in the AFC that wants to see the Tennessee Titans and King Henry on the opposite side of the ball. The Titans are that team that, again, they're a lot like the Bengals, right? We talked about the Bengals having one of those seasons and Burrow's having one of those seasons that nobody's talking about. The Tennessee Titans are having one of those seasons that nobody's talking about. Nobody believes in this team. Everybody keeps counting them out. I've counted them out. I've said, man, this team is not the same without King Henry. They're gonna struggle without him. And instead, they win the division, and they've got a chance at the number 1 seed in the AFC. This team is good, and this team could possibly win a Super Bowl.
Wow. So let me collect my thoughts here. There are times in sports where addition by subtraction is better. It helps your team. It helps you improve your team, right? So I've been saying all along since Ryan Tannehill took over the starting job over Marcus Mariota in Tennessee that he is a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. Combs, you laughed at me. People here in the chat on youtube.com/manhour laughed at me, and they all thought I was a homer and a crazy... Guys, I'm a Kansas City fan. I am not a homer. I'm not a Dolphins fan. Whatever, right? Ryan Tannehill is quietly a great quarterback. Ever since he has been named full starter in Tennessee, he has been improving year after year after year after year, much like Derek Carr is doing in Las Vegas, getting better every year, year and year and year. Without Derrick Henry on the field, he could not rely on that running game. So therefore, that offense evolved. So with you saying they are a Super Bowl caliber team, you are absolutely 100% correct, because they have evolved as a offense. They realize Derrick Henry does not have to touch the ball 30 plus times a game and carry the workload just to have them, in competition, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the Seattle Seahawks game. They were down by 17 points going into the fourth quarter, and they kept running the ball, right? Because they didn't have any trust in Ryan Tannehill. Now they have trust in Ryan Tannehill. He has confidence. The only thing I am worried about, if I'm a Tennessee fan or just somebody in the NFL in general, is that the Tennessee Titans, once Derrick Henry is back, they will revert to their old ways. They will be giving him the ball 30 plus times a game, and then they won't be as deadly as force in the NFL. And what he has missed 6 or 7 weeks now, and once you instantly come back, that's kind of a recipe for disaster for a long-term effect. So what they need to do is they need to do what they're doing right now, and just sprinkle him in about 15 touches, and that'll be sufficient. If they do that, then you are correct. They are the best team in the AFC if they do that. If they don't, they are not even top 8.
That's what they were doing with King Henry before he got hurt, and they were 8-2 when he got hurt. This team was blowing teams out. This team was dominating every game they were playing in. They were that damn good. And there were times where in the fourth quarter we were talking about with King Henry, that game against the Colts. We're talking about King Henry. They're down in the fourth quarter, and instead of passing the ball, they're running the ball. They're giving it to King Henry. They're putting it in his hands, and they're winning football games by doing it. I don't see any scenario where this team is affected poorly by the return of King Henry. And not only that, if the Kansas City Chiefs next week go into Denver and lose, which they are prone to doing, and the Cincinnati Bengals and Tennessee Titans both win next week, the Titans and Bengals are the 1 and 2 seed in the AFC. I would have loved this team what that ticket looked like.
Right.
What the hell would that prop bet have been to have the Titans and Bengals as the 1 and 2 seed in the AFC? It had to have been at least 1,000 to 1 preseason.
Oh, easily. Right.
That's insane. I think the Tennessee Titans are the best team in the AFC, and I don't think anybody wants to go into Tennessee and play this team.
So, as they are the best team, their defense has kind of been suspect. They've been kind of up and down a tad bit as well. So really it all comes back into the defense. And as the old term says, defense wins championships. Yes, you can score 30-some points, but your defense still has to, stop them once or twice. What Tennessee defense is going to show up will determine how great they can be. But with that being said, let's say the Titans are the number 1 overall seed, which it all is pointing to right now. They are sitting number 1 seed now, and that they beat the Houston Texans, which they lost to them earlier this season in Tennessee, but they traveled to Houston. They're playing in a dome, so it might be warm and 65 degrees and whatever. But with that being said, so their second round game could possibly be the Patriots. It could possibly be the Colts, or it could possibly be the Raiders. So with that being said, the Tennessee Titans, they are dangerous, but the Colts are dangerous too. The Colts and Titans play each other really, really, really well, and if they match up in the playoffs, I got to give the edge to the Colts, Combs.
I don't know why you would do that. I mean, they've lost to the Titans twice this year. Once
right.
You talk about that defense, it depends on what defense shows up. This team gave up 31 points to the Buffalo Bills and won. They gave up 30 points to the Seahawks and won. They gave up 31 points to the Colts and came back and won. This team can give up points, but they can score with the best of them. They can get into a shootout with teams. And by shootout, I mean the other guy is going off for 400 yards passing while they start handing the ball off to King Henry, who runs for 200 yards. That's what a shootout is for the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans can score with anybody. And if their defense is on point, you don't have a chance. This team is so damn good, and nobody's paying attention to them.
So there is an old adamant in the Old Testament that they say here. I believe it is High School Football, verse 7, section 8, word 7 is you cannot beat a team 3 times in a season. And yes, the Tennessee Titans have beaten the Colts twice this season. So when the Titans and Colts play the third time, you got to give it to the Colts because of the third time is not the charm.
I believe that is you can't beat Tom Brady 3 times in a season. I'm also sure that you can't beat an NFL team 3 times in a season.
Well, I mean, it is very, very, very rare that a team that sweeps somebody in the regular season plays again in the playoffs. So I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I got to give the edge to the Colts, unfortunately. But moving on here, we saw the Rams, Combs. This is, speaking of bipolar, the LA Rams and Matthew Stafford were clicking this first part of the season, first 10 games, best team in the NFL, yada yada yada, and now they're kind of been stair-stepping back down, and they were behind the Baltimore Ravens most of the game, and they pulled it out. I believe the final score was 20-19 here. Did this loss to the LA Rams for the Baltimore Ravens prove how much they need Lamar Jackson, or are they just fine without Lamar Jackson, Combs?
I think Lamar Jackson adds that extra element. Lamar Jackson's a playmaker. Lamar Jackson is one of those guys who finds a way to win. I don't know if this proved how much they needed Lamar or how much they need a change of scenery. This team is reeling. They are on their heels. They started out the season 8-3, and they haven't won a game since. And I don't know that they're going to be able to rebound from this. I think they need to change at head coach. I think they need a change in some of their personnel. I think they need to go find Lamar an actual wide receiver. You got Brown, but that's Hollywood Brown's about all that you have there. He needs a legitimate wide receiver core. You need to get some offensive line help, and I think you need a new coaching staff in Baltimore, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so we were just talking about Ryan Tannehill, right? And how bad he was in Miami under Adam Gase, the offensive guru that Adam Gase was, right? And then he left, and he was a backup at Tennessee, and he ultimately got this starting job, and he has taken leaps and bounds each and every year. Sometimes a change of scenery is great, right? Let's look at let's just like when there's certain players that just don't fit systems very, very well, and they change, and then boom, they blow up. It happens in baseball like all the time. So with that being said, I am going to trump they need a coaching change. That is 100%. And they also need a offensive play calling change, just because this offensive system, this coaching system that they have has been catering to Lamar Jackson's needs. Yes, it is great to win a lot of regular season games, but when your quarterback goes out, like Lamar Jackson has missed last 4 games with that bruised ankle, right? They're showing that they're not a very good team because Lamar Jackson covers up their flaws as a coaching staff so much. So with that being said, they 100% do need a coaching change, but they need a coach that will come up and actually develop Lamar Jackson as a quarterback and just not a player. So they don't need an offensive mastermind. They need a good coach. They need somebody like Mr. Clappy himself, the old Dallas Cowboys head coach, former New York Giants offensive coordinator. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Why would you wish that on anybody? Jason Garrett?
That is who they need in Baltimore. Jason Garrett will mold Lamar Jackson into a great quarterback. He has the ability there. He just needs that foundation. He needs a coach that understands him, right? That has been in the league this century. I mean, I know Jason Garrett was a backup to Tony Romo back in early 2000s, right? But with that being said, that would be a perfect match. Jason Garrett and Lamar Jackson. Give them 3 years, Combs, and my tune about Lamar Jackson might change a little bit. Actually, I know it would change because I trust Jason Garrett would mold Lamar Jackson into a quarterback and just not an athlete and cater around him.
I think you're insane. I don't think anybody needs Jason Garrett. I'm going to throw something out there at you. And you know how much I love chaos. Yeah. And I was just thinking about this just now while you were talking, because I tried to not listen while you're talking. So I tried to think of other things. But how awesome would it be to fire John Harbaugh and hire Jim? Go get Jim to come out of Michigan. How awkward would that Thanksgiving dinner be?
Hasn't it happened before, though?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Jim coached at San Francisco. John coached at Baltimore. They played against each other in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then Jim left to go coach at Michigan. So,
Right.
I mean, look, Jim Harbaugh is going to be – I know he just got an extension at Michigan. I know they just gave him a lot of money to stay at Michigan for the next 10 years. But if you can pull him away from Michigan, and there's a lot of talk about the Bears going after Joe, which just makes zero sense to me. But after getting blown out in the college football playoff, a lot of people are talking about they may be willing to do a buyout and let him go to the NFL.
I doubt it. But we are up against the next break here, and always before breaks, guys, we do address some of your comments here in the thing here. And Drew says, you must be drunk and high, Buck. Definitely not drunk and definitely not high. I just speak it like I see it, Drew, because let's just be honest. The Ravens just are not very good, and Lamar Jackson's not a good quarterback. I've been telling you guys this for years, ever since he was a rookie. Come on, you guys need to get on this train.
I thought you were going to bring up his Antonio Brown comment.
Oh, well, that is next. And then this is back when you were saying they need a receiver. And Drew says, tell the Ravens we hear Antonio Brown is available. Well, isn't Hollywood Brown and Antonio Brown cousins or something like that?
I don't think so.
Because I thought when Antonio Brown first got cut by the Patriots, or maybe by the Raiders, there was lobbying of trying to get him to Baltimore because I thought they were cousins or something. I can't remember. But if you guys know, let us know in the chat or hit us up on Twitter and let us know, because I thought they were cousins or something. But
oh yeah, he is. He's a younger cousin of former Pro Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown.
Oh, so there you go. Drew says the Ravens have been decimated by injuries and COVID. Drew, who hasn't? Who hasn't been decimated by injuries and COVID this season? That is no excuse.
It's been the flu, but they just say it's COVID.
But for Drew, this must be one of Drew's 15 teams here.
We just got kicked off TV on our first damn day on it.
It's all good. But it just, come on, man. Like, to tell me that they're decimated by injuries and flu or COVID, no. Every team is. Get out of here, Drew, with that.
Yeah. I don't know. Got to deal with it.
Yeah. And Trent Mason says they are. So they are cousins, and you confirm that as lag as well. But, guys, we're up against the next break. If you are listening here on Roku TV, be sure to head to youtube.com/Man Hour and check out the YouTube page. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell icon. We do upload clips from the show each and every day over there at 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I'm going to repeat myself now. We're on break, Holmes. We'll be back.
If I'm home from work and relaxing,
I watch Man Hour while doing dishes.
In bed, hiding from your wife and kids.
what do you do when your husband and kid are obsessed with the Man Hour? You watch it with them.
Watch the Man
Have you ever wanted to go to Vegas to see the NFL draft? Well, now you can. Simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, click on that join button, become a $5.99 member or higher, and you get free entry. Simple as that. So head over to youtube.com/manhour and hit that join button. You won't regret it.
You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby.
Man Hour Nation, it's your boy BC Beastie Brandon Combs coming to you with a special message. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Now, that's 22 too many. And here at the Man Hour, we want to bring awareness to this. Our brothers and sisters deserve our support and our help. With the Take 22 merch, it's a small opportunity to show our appreciation and support to our veterans and take a small step to ending veteran suicide and treating PTSD properly. Every dollar spent on our Take 22 merch will be donated to the cause. So Man Hour Nation, rise up and show your support.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheisel and Brandon Combs. Now, if you go on Twitter, be sure to follow us on Twitter at manhour_buck and, of course, manhour_combs. You can also follow the show on Twitter at man_hour_radio. All those underscores equal you to the Twitter page, and that is the we're starting to be a lot more active there on Twitter. So, guys, be sure to get us a follow over there, and let's get some follows over there. That'd be fantastic. We are also starting a Discord, so a Discord is in the chat, or the link will be in the chat here, guys, in the description here at youtube.com/manhour, and that Discord will start sometime mid-week here. So be sure to jump in there. You can talk trash, you can talk about your team. So it is an extension of the Man Hour, guys. We're there to have fun, talk stuff, and just have a good time. So if you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and of course iHeartRadio, or simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, hit that bell icon, hit the subscribe button, and we upload the clips from the show. Also, download the Good Pods app and give us a ranking on that. Search Man Hour Sports Talk and rate each episode, as we are ranked number 3 right now in all the world of Spot's top sports podcasts. We would like to be number 1. So, guys, definitely get those rankings in there. So, Combs, we've had a great show so far, man. We talked a lot of the AFC North. We dabbled a little bit in the AFC East, but let's just go ahead and take it back a little bit. Let's take a nice deep breath here. And I pushed the wrong button. My bad, guys. I was getting in the sunny travel time, and then the Man Hour logo, or the intro song, kicked on here. So we have talked about our holidays and how you went up north and saw the kids and having a grand old time. But what we failed to understand here is that we kind of sprinkled this in here right before we left on break here. This is year number 2 of the Man Hour, Combs. We have officially been a full year on the Man Hour, and our birthday was December 23rd, but January 3rd of this time last year was our first official show. So we are officially 1 year in. So how do you feel after our first year of doing the Man Hour? Got Rock too, man.
To give you guys what we give you each and every night. It's not always, the greatest time. We all have our off nights for sure. There were times where we get off the show and we're like, man, that was a bad night. Sorry guys, I had a rough night, and we just pick each other up and we keep going. And whether it's you and me, or if it's Tori and Soup Boss filling in, Wyatt, after he's done with school again and before he went to school, like we've had a wild ride, and we've got a lot of good things heading in the right direction. And I'm extremely excited. And look, we already know we're gonna get 1,000 no's before we get that one big yes, and we're okay with that. We're ready with the 1,000 no's, because once we get that one big yes, those 1,000 no's are gonna be sorry.
Yeah, and speaking of some of the great interviews that we've had, I forget the UFC fighter's name that we had on, but that was easily
The Executioner.
Yeah, the Executioner. Yeah, that's right. He was easily the rawest, most purest interview we have ever had. Like, he was just like, man, like nothing was off limits, and it was flat out awesome. So
yeah, Joey Beltran was one of those interviews that, for one, I just love talking to him because I'm a UFC guy. Like, I watch UFC every single weekend with my father-in-law, where we get all the pay-per-views. We watch all the damn time. And Joey Beltran is just one of those guys that I came up watching. He's one of the reasons why I started watching UFC. And having him on and how raw he was, man, and then getting him to call out the heavyweight champion at the end of the interview was just even better. I mean, that was the icing on the cake. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and also over the last year, we have made some great contacts as well. Luke G, we have him on every Tuesday here on for his weekly segment. We have Kevo on for his weekly segment. We have who else we got?
We got RC Orland.
Yeah, RC Orland's coming on. Great times, man. So.
Yeah, and we've got some other interviews in the works, guys. I'm not going to mention any names, but I reached out to a MLB player who just retired. Reached out to him, trying to get him on the show. We're reaching out. We're trying to do the things that we can without having all the benefits of being on a major network and getting all the benefits of we actually have to do all the legwork.
Yeah.
And it's been cool to watch, and there have been days that have been disappointing, but then there have been days where we're just like, hell yeah, this is something here. So we're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep doing the things, and we're going to keep bringing you the best damn sports talk show out there. And the reason why we're the best damn sports talk show out there is we're not guided by any political affiliation, any network political affiliation, and, none of that stuff. We keep that all out there, and we just keep it real with you guys. Javier, another one of our loyal listeners, tells us all the time. He's like, I just love this show because it's real. You guys don't care. If somebody is wrong, you're going to tell them that they're wrong. And if somebody's right, you're going to say that they're right. And he's like, this is, that's why he loves listening to the show. And that's what you get with us. You get live, raw, and uncut. I mean, we say some crazy stuff. Buck is going to pick the Lions to be 15-3 every single year for the rest of his life. He's going to be wrong every single year for the rest of his life. And we're going to get some other things going, But yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. So speaking of a wild ride, the Cowboys and Cardinals had a wild ride, Combs, and the Cowboys made a late push. They scored 15 points in the fourth quarter to make it somewhat of a respectable game, but the Cardinals end up winning 25-22, making them both 11-5 on the season. Who is more dangerous in your eyes in the playoffs?
I think the Arizona Cardinals are more dangerous in the playoffs. I trust Kyler Murray more than I trust Dak Prescott. I trust that defense more than I trust the Dallas defense, even though both defenses are very good. I just think that Arizona defense is much better, and I think that they showed it today. Excuse me. I think that the Arizona Cardinals are probably the biggest threat in the NFC with the Green Bay Packers. I think that, they might not win the division because you've got, the Rams are a game ahead of them, and you need the Rams to lose and you to win and score so many points or whatever to overtake them. So you might not be the 2 seed heading in or the 3 seed heading in, but you're a very dangerous wildcard team. And you can go out there right now. It would be a rematch. if they went out there and played. If the playoffs started today, as I see your son has joined us here. But it would be one of those things where we would be remiss if we dismissed the Cardinals because they had a rough stretch of it while everybody was injured and while they were dealing with things. While Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins were out and they lost a couple of games, to throw them out and be like, nah, they're not that good. You're out of your mind. To me, this is the best team in the NFC when they're healthy. This is the best team by far.
I mean, speaking of being wrong, Combs is exactly wrong on this one because the Cardinals are not a very good team. The Cowboys just simply did not play a good game today against the Arizona Cardinals, and Kyler Murray is undefeated at A&T State Stadium. Awesome, right? Congratulations. But at the end of the day, Combs, the Cardinals started the year off hot. They were 9-0 to start the season, and you can say the injuries for Kyler Murray hurt them, right? But every team had injuries at the end of the day. And what is ultimately going to hurt them is when they lose to Seattle Seahawks next week at Arizona, and they will be a wild card team, and they will be a first round exit. Like I've been saying all season long, guys, the Arizona Cardinals are just not that good.
That whole time that you were talking, the smartest thing that came out of anybody's mouth was what River was saying. Right? Okay, because to sit there and say that the Arizona Cardinals are not a good football team, I don't know what the hell you've been watching all season long. I don't know what you've been seeing with Kyler Murray. I don't know what you've been seeing, out of that defense. I don't know what you're looking at when you say that this team isn't that good, because this team has proved time and time again that they are an elite team in the NFC. Now, have they had a rough stretch over the last, 4 or 5 weeks because of the injuries that they've been dealing with? Absolutely. But this team is one of the best teams in the NFC, and they're right there with the Green Bay Packers, and I still think they're better than the Green Bay Packers. I think that the Arizona Cardinals are the best team in the NFC, period.
So, Combs, when you say they're the best team in the AFC, you have to realize that you still have the Bucks, you still have the Packers, you still have the Cowboys, right? You still have the Rams. The Rams are a very dangerous team, even when Matthew Stafford throws pick six at the -2 yard line. It just it is what it is. But the Cardinals had a benefit of a weaker schedule to start the season, right? And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys, this is what you get live, raw, and uncut, right? We've got, this is one of our best surprises when River hops on the show. He actually spews better information than Buck does. His takes are better than Buck's are. But look, the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC, and they've proven it. In regardless of this little, little slide that they've had recently, this defense shows up when they need to show up. The offense, when they're healthy, they click on all cylinders. And if they get hot and they win 1 or 2 games without DeAndre Hopkins here in the playoffs, and they get DeAndre Hopkins back for the NFC title game like they're talking about, forget it. It's over. And the Cardinals are going to be your Super Bowl champions.
And that is the best line I've heard all day, Combs. When healthy, this team is great. Well, guess what, Combs? They have played 18 weeks. Who is healthy right now? Nick Foles? Congratulations, because he hasn't played one game this season. Every team has been rattled with injuries all season long, Combs. And
they're 11-5, Buck.
They are 11-5 because look who they started the season off. The Titans. We didn't know who the Titans were at week 1. So yes, that was a great win. But then they played a Vikings team that's just not very good. Jaguars were not very good. The Rams.
I'm not talking about the beginning of the season. Let's talk about right now. You know who is healthy? The Dallas Cowboys.
They
the
got
Dallas
9
Cowboys
wins
who
to
the
start
Arizona
season.
Cardinals just went in and beat in their own home.
Okay.
They're healthy. And the Dallas Cowboys are the team you think is going to win the Super Bowl.
They are.
They're the team you think is the best team in the NFC.
They are.
You're out of your mind. Stop. The
Just
Arizona
because...
Cardinals are the real deal. You've been trashing the Arizona Cardinals all damn year. I think it's because I picked them to be 15-2, and you're like, oh, they're not going to be good at all. They're going to be last in the NFC West, and they've proven that they're the best team in the NFC, not just the NFC West.
So when you look at the Arizona Cardinals, Combs, you say I cannot look at the beginning of the season. Well, 9 other wins came at the beginning of the season. Or sorry, 8 other wins came at the beginning of the season. Then they lost to the Packers. They have only won 4 games, Combs, and their last 7. Or sorry, 4 of their last 9. Absolutely not very good at all. Like how can you tell me that they are the best team in the NFC when they're 1 out of their last 4? They're 1-3 in their last 4 games versus the Rams, Lions, Colts, and Cowboys. All playoff caliber teams, and they can't beat them? Come on.
They beat the Cowboys in Dallas, who is a team that you say is the best team in the NFC. And they just went in and did that. How can you? I give it to you. Yes, they lost to the Rams, they lost to the Colts, and they blew that game against that. They went into Detroit and they should have won, but they were looking past the Lions. But I don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about, this is also a team. Yes, they lost to the Rams, but they also walked into Los Angeles and smacked the Rams in the mouth earlier in the season. This team is a great team. And you're overlooking them. I know you like to dog the Cardinals and dog their fans and go back and forth, but to dismiss this team is a mistake. And it's a mistake that you're going to regret later on because you're going to be watching this team in the NFC title game.
Okay, Combs. So I am looking at their schedule right now. They have only played 4 playoff teams all season long. Easily, they've had the easiest schedule that of like all
what
playoff
are you
teams.
Talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? The Titans.
The Titans are a playoff team.
Okay.
The Vikings, if they win against the Green Bay Packers tonight, and
but they're down 6-0, so
they're still in the. Well, they're down 13-0 now. But if they find a way to win this game, they're still in the playoff hunt. The Rams, playoff team. 49ers still in the playoff hunt. Browns still in the playoff hunt. You got the Packers. Still in the playoff hunt. You got they're number 1 seed. And you got the let's see, who else are they? The Rams again, the Colts playoff team, Cowboys playoff team. I just named 6 teams, 7 teams right there.
5. So playoff hunt does not count. I mean, every team in the AFC is still in the playoff hunt, right? And so that's absolutely asinine comment at the end of the day.
He said, listen to me. You're wrong.
He said, listen to me. The Cardinals are going to the Super Bowl. So if you guys want to win, hashtag Riverbucks said so. But there were some other playoff implementation games like as well today, Combs. Speaking of the AFC, the AFC West had a very good game, and the Chargers versus the Broncos. Combs, I know I wrote the Broncos off very early in the season, and they come back firing, and unfortunately, this game did not go that they wanted to go, and they ended up losing to the Chargers 34-13. Sorry. Do the Chargers make the playoffs, Combs?
Yeah, I believe the Chargers will make the playoffs. I think that game next week is going to be for a playoff spot. If I'm not mistaken, that'll probably end up being your Sunday night game. It's going to be the Chargers versus the Raiders, and the winner of that's probably going to get the 7th seed in the AFC. So I do think that the Chargers will make the playoffs. I think that they'll beat the Raiders. And the Chargers make the playoffs. I is another young quarterback that I believe in, and so I think the Chargers will be there.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. So the Chargers are speaking of bipolar teams, we don't know who the Chargers are because they were great to start the season. I actually had them beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. Clearly, that I was wrong. The Chiefs won their 6th straight AFC Championship game here. But looking at it, Combs, the Chargers are 9-7, and they have a 58% chance of making the playoffs. But with that being said, the Raiders have an easier last game, so I'm giving it to the Raiders. So I think the Chargers on the outside looking in,
They play each other,
and the Raiders are going to make this Cinderella story. Hey, we fired our coach, we lost our star receiver to mid year, right? That was like five weeks ago. And
but the Raiders don't have easier last game.
The Raiders have Cinderella story written all over them. So give me the Raiders in this one, unfortunately.
But you say the Raiders have an easier last game. They play against the Chargers. Like they play each other. So it's not that they have an easier last game. It's that they're going to battle it out to figure out who's the better team and who's going to the playoffs. I think that's where the Chargers will get the better hand, because I believe in I think the Chargers defense is better than the Raiders defense. And to be honest with you, I don't want to say I like their quarterback situation better than the Raiders quarterback situation, because I really do like Derek Carr. I think he's very underrated. But I think that Herbert is better than Derek Carr right now.
I mean, I do think Herbert is definitely the future of the NFL over Mahomes, over Joe Burrow, over Lamar. So I definitely give you that. But Combs, we are up against the break here, and on the other side of the break here, guys, we got takeaway 22. So sit back and relax and enjoy this last little break for us.
Once I'm home from work and relaxing,
I watch Man Hour while doing dishes.
In bed, hiding from your wife and kids.
what do you do when your husband and kid are obsessed with the Man Hour? You watch it with them.
Have you ever wanted to go to Vegas to see the NFL draft? Well, now you can. Simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, click on that join button, become a $5.99 member or higher, and you get free entry. Simple as that. So head over to youtube.com/manhour and hit that join button. You won't regret it.
You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby.
Man Hour Nation, it's your boy BC Beastie Brandon Combs coming to you with a special message. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Now, that's 22 too many. And here at the Man Hour, we want to bring awareness to this. Our brothers and sisters deserve our support and our help. With the Take 22 merch, it's a small opportunity to show our appreciation and support to our veterans and take a small step to ending veteran suicide and treating PTSD properly. Every dollar spent on our Take 22 merch will be donated to the cause. So Man Hour Nation, rise up and show your support. And what is going on, Man Hour Nation? It's your boy Beastie Brandon Combs, along with Mike Buckheister. And it is that time where we get to our Takeaway 22 segment. And as you just heard in the commercial, 22 veterans a day commit suicide. That's 22 too many. And what we're trying to do is bring awareness to veteran suicide. Our veterans deserve way better support and help than what they get. We're trying to bring awareness to veteran suicide, PTSD, and all that other stuff that we need to put an end to and start treating better when our troops come home. So any Takeaway 22 merchandise that you purchase out of the shop, we will donate to the Till Valhalla Project, which is geared towards ending veteran suicide. So if you haven't checked it out, tillvalhallaproject.com, and see what you can get from them in order to help. So yeah, Takeaway 22. We're gonna have 22 seconds each on a topic. Buck, are you ready?
I am always ready when I'm with you in the building.
All right, Buck. So first first question. The Browns versus the Steelers, Monday Night Football. Who wins?
Oh, that is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers because this is Big Ben's final game at Heinz Field on Monday Night Football versus the arch rival Cleveland Browns. If you guys believe the NFL is like rigged, this will be a storybook written happy ending for Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers win hands down, Combs.
I think it's the exact opposite for you, Buck. I actually think that Big Ben is not the same Big Ben and that he is not going to have a storybook ending in Pittsburgh. I think that the Browns win this game. They are the rival. They are fighting for a playoff spot. Browns win this game.
I mean, the Steelers are fighting for a playoff spot too now.
No, they're not. All right. So next one. Was Combs right about Trevor Lawrence being a bust?
I don't need full 22 seconds. Yes. I was on the same boat you are way before the draft. Combs, this is the first thing you and me agreed on the man hour. Trevor Lawrence will be a bust. Now he'll have coach number 2 in year number 2. Yeah, bust written all over it.
Yeah. Look, this guy has completed only 58% of his passes, 10 touchdowns to 17 interceptions, and has a 69.6 quarterback rating. 69.6 quarterback rating. I think that's pretty much the lowest possible quarterback rating you could have. He is not a very good quarterback. He is a bust. I said he was going to be a bust. I was absolutely 110% correct.
Toot that horn.
All right, Buck. Moving on to the next one. Becoming the first rookie tight end in over 60 years. Over 60 years, first rookie tight end to have 1,000 yards receiving. Kyle Pitts will be the greatest of all time at the tight end position.
No, not at all. He is not even top 5 in the NFL right now. Hell, you can even look at Tony Gonzalez when he played for the Falcons. He was better than Kyle Pitts will ever be. There are many tight ends in the league right now that Kyle Pitts will never live up to. Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce, George Kittle. We talked about him earlier. Shannon Sharp is better than like him. No, he will not be the GOAT. No way, no how.
I don't know if he's going to shape out to be the GOAT. I think it's a little bit too early. I agree with you when you say he's not even in the top 5 right now. I think there's too many really good tight ends in the game right now. Although Kyle Pitts is having a great season, we still got guys like Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Dawson Knox, and Hunter Henry out there that are just every bit as good as Kyle Pitts. However, I do think Kyle Pitts has the athleticism to possibly be the greatest of all time.
So I want to extend this a little bit and kind of make this a conversation piece. Do you think Kyle Pitts will ultimately be moved to a wide receiver at the end of the day? Because I was watching the Falcons game and I feel like I only saw him line up as a tight end maybe 5 or 6 times in this whole game.
No, I don't think that they'll move him. I think his size and his ability and his run blocking ability is a very good run blocker too.
Yeah.
I think that Kyle Pitts will stay as a tight end.
Okay. Next one.
All right. Next one. Moving on. Will Jimmy G be the 49ers quarterback next season?
Absolutely yes, because he has a no trade clause in his contract. They signed an extension for him, damn well knowing that they were going to draft a quarterback in this draft. So he is there for 2 more years for sure. So he will be starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers next year. Will he finish it? No.
Absolutely, he will not be the 49ers quarterback next season. He will be the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings because they're going to trade him for Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins is going to be the quarterback in San Francisco. That's what's happening this offseason. You heard it here first on the Man Hour.
That'd be a good trade.
Would be a good trade. Moving on. What's the worst anticipated head coaching position in the NFL?
Wow. So I had to think about this pre-show, and I'm not going to go your Chicago Bears. I'm going to go.
You should.
With the Carolina Panthers. I think Matt Rule is out in Carolina because this whole quarterback controversy that is happening there. He brought Cam Newton in there, I think, to kind of save his season, kind of to save face with the fans and the ownership. So I think Carolina will be opening, and that would be a good job to have, I think.
I'm not going to go with my Chicago Bears either, even though I think it's one of the worst positions out there. I still think it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that's the most obvious answer. I just, that front office is in disarray. They clearly have no weapons, period. They don't even have a quarterback right now. So I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars just because of how much they need in Jacksonville.
So hang on, pause here one bit. We talked about Trevor Lawrence being a bust. But you realize that how to win in the NFL now, you have a good team with a lot of rookie contracts on there. So you have a lot of good players, such as your quarterback position with a rookie contract. And what they are missing, Cole, really the only thing they're missing there is a good receiver. You know who is going to be a good receiver up for free agency this
Antonio
season?
Brown?
No. Devontae Adams with the Green Bay Packers. If I got the head coaching job at Jacksonville, I would be on the phone with Adams or another free agent receiver and not let them off the phone until they were in Jacksonville and signed as the number one guy. Money is not an issue because they have tons of money. Bring a receiver there, and then more people will come. And then bada bing, bada boom. They have a good defense. They have a good offensive line. They have Etienne as a running back. We don't quite know what he has yet. Trevor Lawrence just needs a good receiver and get one.
He's got Marvin Jones Jr. He's got Chenault. He had DJ Shark before Shark got hurt. Like, he's got weapons. He just doesn't know how to use them. He's not a very good quarterback. This team is just they're not ready. And it's going to take a lot to get them there. And you're not going to get the support of a front office that knows what they're doing because they don't have one in Jacksonville.
Right.
So it's a bad spot for me if you're a head coach.
You need a OG head coach that is going to be the head coach and the general manager and push the owner off to the side. That's the only way they will succeed.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
That is what I see. But Combs, it is that special time of night where we see what you see. It's time for the Combs eye test. Let us have it.
All right, so the Combs eye test is actually going to be what we just talked about. I'm going out to Jacksonville. People, have come at me, and I've heard people talk about how Trevor Lawrence is the prototype. If you could go into a lab and build the perfect quarterback, you would come out with Trevor Lawrence. I heard people say this guy is going to be, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. This quarterback coming out of college is going to be, and when I said he's going to be a bust, they all laughed at me. And I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what you're seeing. I'm seeing exactly what he's showing you out on the field. I'm seeing a quarterback with a 69 quarterback rating. And don't give me all the crap about, he plays on a terrible team, he doesn't have any weapons, because that's crap. He does have weapons. He just doesn't know how to use them. Don't give me the fact that he's on a bad team so he can't win, because that's crap. We've seen guys like Deshaun Watson go out there on bad teams and have phenomenal seasons. We've seen guys out there that know how to play and know how to win at this level go out there and have good seasons with bad product on their team, on the field. This guy is a bust. I said he was going to be a bust before the draft, and he's been a bust ever since. The guy is not good. Trevor Lawrence is a bust.
And guys, that
Brian
is
Leaf 2.0.
And that is the Combs' eye test for tonight, guys. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, be sure to head over to youtube.com/manhour and check out the clips. We do upload those each and every day, every 3 hours, 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m. You guys do the math. Every 3 hours, we are uploading clips over there at youtube.com/manhour. But we are here back tomorrow, same time, same place. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. This is live, raw, and uncut sports talk. Combsy, send us out, big guy.
Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You know on the beat every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. Why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.